Good day, you beautiful people. So the Dalhousie Faculty Association just rejected the latest arbitration from the university because the university only wants them to focus on wages and nothing else. Now, one of the things that the DFA is asking for is a fair wage catch-up, and that's because of all the inflation and wages falling more and more behind. They're asking for a 7% increase for year 1 and a 4% increase for year 2 and 3. The university is only offering a 2% increase per year instead. DFA is also wanting to keep the 90-10 clause, which basically ensures 90% of the teaching is done by permanent faculty, while 10% is contracted or seasonal instructors. The university, of course, wants to ditch this clause, because they want to hire more lower-paid short-term contracts instead. And lastly, the DFA is asking for better supports like childcare assistance, extended parental leave top-ups, increased healthcare spending account, retirement incentives, longer Indigenous ceremonial leave, and fair workload expectations, especially for librarians and counselors. Now, I'm all for supporting unions, and I really hope these guys get what they're demanding, but unfortunately, I can't see the university doing this anytime soon. One of the major defenses that the university is using to fight back is the fact that Canada has cut back on how much they can accept international student permits. Because they did this back in January of 2024, some universities who heavily rely on international students are suffering. For example, the Cape Breton University last year had a student body count of 77% being international students. The others had 28 and 27% of them being international. While the government has been increasing the amount of funding these universities get, they're funding up to 33% of the university's revenue. If you check out this website right here, you can actually see the full breakdown from their last year taxes, including where all their money is going. I'd love to know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. But I want to focus on exactly how much these universities have been capitalizing and taking advantage of international students. And we're going to use the Dalhousie fee calculator, which anyone can access on their website. I'm going to compare it to those who live in Nova Scotia, those who live outside of Nova Scotia, and international students. I'm going to do my best to keep it mostly the same, except for the citizenship. They're going to be undergrads, they're going to be nursing, because Tim Houston's all about us needing nurses, which is a 15-round course. Now, I'm picking that they're going to live on campus because we have a housing crisis, so being on campus is more realistic. The prices for on campus is ridiculous. For simplicity's sake, I'm picking the first one. And we're going to pick their meal plan because that's the only one they offer. Now, for a Nova Scotia University student, that's going to cost you $33,869. If you're a Canadian student, it's going to cost you $35,794. If you're an international student, it's going to cost you double the amount, being at $67,151. With a huge chunk of that coming from the international fee. It's not just with Dalhousie University either, because St. Mary's University also has a tuition calculator as well. Trying to keep it the same, you can see for a local student, it's only $16,140. For an international student, you're nearly paying $40,000. So it's absolutely no surprise that now that the universities have to cut back on the amount of international students they're having, that they're now reporting a deficit. And they're blaming everyone else except for themselves. Spent years capitalizing on these students. I really hope these guys get what they want, but I'm very curious to know what are your thoughts about this in the comments down below.